365 days ago, I did not know how to take a trade, look at a candlestick, even think that making money from the market was possible. And I'm here a whole year later to tell you that it's possible. What's my proof? I've taken a singular payout, and that singular payout has been enough proof for me to know that a lot of the trading market is oversaturated with lies. They have a lot of stories to tell you, a lot of bullshit, and I'm here to speak my truth. I'm not in this for the money. I'm not in this for the. Yeah, I don't think there's any fame in this side of it, honestly. And that's exactly why I like trading, because it offers you that covert type of feel within your work field. You don't have to do it for the publicity or for the fame and have everybody know you. Trading is, first off, you're going to hear that it's a very difficult thing, and that is going to scare you. I would say first, if you know that trading is meant for you, if you've gone through either circumstantial situations that have proved that trading is going to be beneficial towards you, or you've put in so much work and effort that you more than believe you know that trading is your path, then this is the right place for you. See, I started trading with the idea and the intention that trading is my path and there's nothing else for me. And still to this very moment, even a year later, I've had many moments where I've fallen off, didn't know what my next step would be. Analysis paralysis, second guessing myself, overthinking, to get to the point where I've taken a payout and proved to myself that the market offers you what you give it. It took a lot more effort than I thought. Now, to break it down step by step and actually give you information that could help you and benefit you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the guidance to the right places that you need to be. I won't do it the way that everybody else does it, where they try to reroute you to them and make you their source of, viewership and entertainment. I want to be, in a sense, the middleman, the person that could send you to a valid source. And if you get results, you come back. If not, have fun, go somewhere else. There's so much information out there that I think there's no fear on my side that this is the information that you shouldn't be listening to. The first type of content that I would recommend you to get into as a new trader would be long form. The reason I recommend this is because the first thing that I did is short form. I went and I searched up how to trade and I tapped on the first short possible. And the reason why I think this is bad is because it gives you a very unrealistic time frame of what you're going to be doing. See, if you're tech savvy or you have a lot of intellect towards, the market or how money works, you automatically jump into, or even if you have a lot of capital to risk, you automatically jump into the market with this idea that this is what I've been missing. And if I just put my time towards this thing, money is guaranteed. See, the one major fault about that is you're looking at strictly the upside. And the upside is not negative because it's a part of the reality, but you are very, 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 very ignorant to the fact of the downside. The downside is more than just losing money. The downside becomes this race against a time that you make up every single time. So, well, I knew that trading would be the thing for me, and I didn't know what to do next. So I began to just binge watch content, as much content as possible, different content from different types of people, and that started to give me a basis of the information that I thought I needed. But honestly, it started to create this rift between me and trading immediately. Now, I've heard it from multiple groups, people that have traded for multiple years, 1, 2, 3, up to 5 years, that this thing called analysis paralysis will stop you from being able to execute within the market. And if you are one of those people that are very interested in learning and always want to acquire new information, one thing that you have to understand is how that information is acquired matters so much. You see, I've always been a very hands-on person with the way I learn. And with hands-on learning, most of the time you're just thrown directly into the fire. You're put into the fire, you figure it out, and you're good. And if you're that type of person, that is the optimal route for you. In a sense, I don't have regrets, but I would definitely have preferred to have thrown myself into the fire and not watch myself burn, but watch myself mold myself into something that could handle the market independently much easier. Once I got to the habit of watching short form content and binge watching as much people as possible, this leads to another situation where you rely on somebody to provide you with what you don't have. So at this point, you're looking for somebody that has a quality that you don't have, so they could support you with your journey. And this is debatable. I've heard a lot of people say that a mentor is needed. A mentor isn't needed. I've definitely bought a few courses, but I've never completed any of them. So will I say that a mentor is needed? I would say advice is needed and information is needed. But a mentor to become a successful trader, it could save you time. It's definitely not a necessity. From the long form content, I would avoid any discords, any chat where they're giving me the call out without explanation to why they're doing it, and I follow along blindly. I think this is the deepest part of the rabbit hole that people fall into. See, once you're already dependent on a YouTuber or a content creator to provide you with the call outs to make the proper call, you no longer rely on your intuition and your thinking to execute. You're waiting for somebody else to tell you what to do it. And this, for me, I'll speak specifically for me in this situation, where the conflict started is when I noticed that I was blaming other people for my trades. See, in trading, there's a few things that you can do and a few things that you can't do that are like universal rules. And I believe with trading, you have to treat it as your own business. And by treating something as your own business, you have to take mass accountability. Accountability for your losses, accountability for your wins, accountability for your effort, accountability for your non-effort. You have to be a full accountable person. If you're operating in a complete different system that is not optimal for the market, meaning you're not sleeping at the right time, you're not eating the right things, you're not getting that workout and burning that energy that you need to, you do see it in your trading. Does this mean you cannot make it without these things? This is something I put a lot of thought into. I think this goes down to the individual 100%. But as an individual, these things must be executed in their own way. You must find a way to release stress. You must find a way to be creative. You must find a way to express love. These things must be a complete circular entity, a cycle that repeats itself every single day for you to be successful within the market. Once you find a trading YouTuber that goes live every morning that you trust. Now, I don't want to make any call-outs and just refer you to just anybody, but one of them that was really good for me is Grizzly and J-Dub. For different reasons, like the following, of course, big community, but even like Grizzly, how he explains his trades and how he has a smaller community so you're able to ask questions and feel like you're part of something. I would do that as soon as possible. I would also not become too dependent on them. and that group chat, I noticed that after being in there for various months and actually like picking up on as much intellect as I could and asking the questions that I knew I needed to get to the next level, that the people in the chat that were successful as traders, or I perceived to be successful as traders, they were working alongside and not under the streamer. They were adding suggestions to the chat, having conversation. They work their way into the community as such so they can provide some benefit. I would say if I was to restart that process of going back into lives and watching live streamers, I would provide some benefit towards the streamer. How? By researching delta, by researching different types of volume profiles, seeing where the fair value gaps are, interacting with the chat as much as possible, messaging, saying this, saying that, and being corrected, admitting when you're wrong, accountability. I think those two parts of the process give you so much. It gives you this reality check that most traders need immediately. When you see a day trader that has been trading for 10 years lose on the day and call it quits, and when you see them win, hit a nice trade and call it quits, and when you see them in the market and before they even take a trade, they see things that you don't see and it's affecting how they think their trading day will be, or before they're ahead and maybe it's pre-market and you trade that New York session and you see them taking a trade within that zone that most people don't trade in, that 9:30 to 9:45. These things begin to change your perspective on trading and break down the rules. So when you hear different trigger words throughout this trading process, you associate them with the right behaviors. Look at it as, okay, I just bought a 50K account. What can that do for me? A 50K account, I have to pass the test. That's 5 days. I need to pass it in 5 days. Okay, after that, I could get a payout in 3 days or 2 days. Okay, I'm going to get so this is an 8-day process. I could only trade 5 days a week, so this is going to take me about 2 weeks. And that type of thinking had my mind racing and pacing and really falling down a rabbit hole that I never knew would lead me to burnout. So that's something that we could definitely talk about more. And if somebody has an issue with that, I'd love to talk about it some more. But this type of content is to save people time, to really look back through my journey and see what has felt like wasted time. I'm not a believer in the fact of wasted time. I think everybody has a purpose and a journey that they're walking. And if they choose not to do things in certain moments, then that's left completely up to them. There will be another opportunity at another time because time is endless. But I think for me, there is an extent of how long you should be doing things. Not to put a time expectancy on it, but because compressing time down and making it something that you have full control over your time. It means making an hour a minute and making a minute 10 days. It means having an idea that showed up in your head for 10 seconds and expanding it into an idea that takes over the next 10 years of your life. So, when time truly means nothing, you begin to give in. You begin to understand that if it takes me 10 years or if it takes me 10 minutes to get my first payout, I'm going to do it. I know I'm going to do it. And that becomes the difference between you and every other trader. The knowing. I've seen it with a lot of people. They think that they could pass an account. They think that they could get a payout. But for me to get to that first payout, I knew. So my goal is to know what I'm working towards now is the knowing that I will be a successful day trader.